Hi guys, this is week 9 Project Life and I've just started by laying out my photos. I've also got a flag that I watercoloured and a card that I had created as part of a challenge over on this Kelly Stamps Instagram page. And so I'm just starting by laying out some background papers and some cards. I'm trying that yellow card, but I actually think I'll just stick with the teal one that I had originally, and I really want to use one of these rubber succulents from the Studio Calico kit. So once I trim down all my background cards and papers, I'm just going to go through the performance of rounding all the corners. Now that that's done, I'm just going to stick down some of these photos. So this is the card I created for the Kelly Stamps challenge. So I heat embossed a sentiment onto there and then just did some ink blending over the top. Once I've stuck down this Instax photo, it sort of looks a bit plain, and I thought I'd add a pop more colour with a wee bit of this neon pink washi, which actually tied in really well with the picture of the flowers in the bottom right there. Just stick on this last photo and then I'm going to start stamping. So when I stamp on Instax photos, I use StazOn ink, and it's pretty much the only time I use StazOn ink, but it's the only one I found that really dries on these glossy Instax photos. For these other photos, I'm just using the VersaFine Onyx Black ink. I'm using the AM to PM stamp set from Kelly Stamps. This is the clear stamp set. The pre-order for that's finished now, but you can always try the digital stamps in the store. And this whole layout gets a really heavy dose of stamping. Couldn't really decide where to stamp this one. I'm just looking to see whether there was anything else I wanted to use instead. But in the end I went with it, and I'm getting ink everywhere. So I've just inked that up and stamped it down, and then I thought I'd add a couple more to it just to make a wee cluster of stamps. And right there is where I dip my block in ink and smudge it on the photo. So I think one thing to remember with stamping on photos is they're pretty much never perfect, and you just have to embrace that imperfection and go with it. Or if you really can't embrace the imperfection, then I would highly suggest digital stamps, because they are perfect every time. I just can't quite work out what stamp I'm going to use on this one. And when I'm stamping over dark photos like this, I like a white ink, and this one's the Brilliance Moonlight White, and it is just the best for stamping on these photos. I print my photos at home, and it is a glossy paper, but it seems to be more absorbent than like store photos, so I've never had a problem stamping on them. It holds the ink really well and tends not to smudge too much. So you can see with this one, this is a fairly solid stamp that I'm going to put on this photo here, and I'm using the Brilliance ink, and it just stamps nice and solid. So I think I'm pretty much done with the spread. I just need to work on my title card, and I'm determined to use that rubber succulent. And I'm just going to add a bit more of this neon washi just to sort of pull it up to that top corner, because that paper is quite light that I've chosen. So I'm adding some tiny letters to spell out the word week, and I'm going to use a cork number 9, and I'm just going to work out where I'm going to place that with the succulent there, and it ends up being all rather top heavy, but that actually worked out quite nicely. And with that, week number 9 is done.